Guys, we had a little bit of a video whoopsie this week, so it is audio only. Just for this week, we're back to normal next week. If you are somebody who likes the visuals, then we have clips and memes and fun things on the screen that I've tried to do. I spent a lot of time trying to make it visually interesting for you because you won't be seeing our faces. But like I said, we're back to normal next week, so enjoy this week's episode. Okay, welcome back everybody to Actually Let's Chat. We are on episode 3 of our side quest into Heated Rivalry, which means we have the great kind of bottle episode called Hunter. Before we get started, I am in honor of Scott Hunter. Here we go. I am wearing a full fitness outfit because I don't own a tux. So these are my running clothes. So this is in honor of him and his ridiculous running clothes. They're like skin tight bodysuit.
He's aerodynamic.
He's really aerodynamic. He doesn't need to shave because all of his clothes are so tight. Before we get into this week's episode, I wanted to flag a correction from a listener from last week's. So we got the ages wrong. So we were talking about Shane and Ilya, and we thought they were like 25 or something in the second episode. Yeah. They were 19. So I don't know where we went wrong with our maths, but I mean, I get to play my dyslexia.
In the first episode, they were 19?
The second encounter, like the episode 2 encounter, I guess. So it does make more sense with their immaturity.
Yeah, but how many years had passed? I thought it was like so many years had passed.
They met when they were 17.
Oh, fuck. They started young.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Apologies for, like, slagging on their immaturity then. Sorry, guys.
Also, on a side note, this past week, Heated Rivalry won a Peabody Award. So that's awesome.
Oh.
Which, I mean, I've heard of Peabody Awards, but I've never, and now I still kind of don't understand what they are, but it's very
I was going to say, what is a Peabody Award, like, awarded to?
Like, what is the category? Basically. So there's not a category, they just issue, from what I can see, again, feel free, I'll put it in the corrections next week, but from what I can see, there's not categories so much as like
like the MacArthur Genius Grants.
Kinda.
Yeah.
So a couple, like several things got it. Many. It's very, very limited.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. So we're ready. And so we met up last night and you were like, I can't talk to you about it because we're obviously talking tonight. What are your thoughts on episode 3?
Girl.
Love that.
I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to say that. I really liked this. I liked this. And I was like, so
You would.
I liked it. And I was like, okay, I have some thoughts here now. One, I am not bothered at all by it being 2 gay men in any stretch of the imagination. I think I just like it to be a little bit more romantic. Because at first I was like, I
really thought you would like this one.
I was like, am I being like homophobic? Because I'm like, I was like, is something wrong with me? Am I like, I'm trying to be like an ally here, guys. And then I was like, oh, no. I just don't like this kind of story. Because I don't like 50 Shades either. I don't like that shit. So I'm super, super happy that I can feel like I'm not horrified by everything.
Yeah. Okay, good.
And
this is great.
And I said to myself, I was like, sex in the dark as God intended. It's like, that is how it's supposed to be.
Turn the lights on. Turn them on.
God, no one wants to see that.
I do.
Although I would
like turn the lights up in my house and turn the brightness up on my TV.
I did put in my notes though, to have sex in the dark as God intended, and then put need to caveat, not religious. just as a joke, I'm saying that. I want to because we have all these new listeners, and I'm not being like Bible thumping here. I just mean it in like the and the jokey God, not the. Because I was
it's too late for either of us. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I was like, okay, I just hope no one thinks I'm weird. Well, I mean, that's again too late for either of us.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Oh, okay, all right. Well, so this is what I'm really interested in then. Okay, so it's the previously on, and you get every kind of scene that Scott Hunter's in. So what were your thoughts? Because obviously we spoke about Scott Hunter before, and we talked about whether he knew if Shane and Ilya were hooking up. And your assumption was, why would he think that? Because he is a straight man and a straight sport. So I love, when I was watching the previously, just imagining you watching the previously going, this is a lot of Scott Hunter all of a sudden. Why am I getting all the Scott
So,
Hunter scenes?
so you kind of did yourself in on this one
Did I,
because
by asking the question in the first place?
no. So what you
Oh,
did was
okay.
last
Mm.
week you were like, "Oh, it's kind of a different episode," and I was like, "Well, I love the one that focuses on a different character." And then you sent me the thirsty
Oh
tweets
no.
video, and
Yes, yeah.
they were
The
like
BuzzFeed
they
one.
were like, "Oh yeah, the hot guys in episode 3 or something." And he's like, "Do you think so and so and so and so are hotter than us?" And I was like, "It's another gay
Um,
couple." So then when it came on, I was like,
yes.
"That's the gay couple." See,
Okay, okay, so I didn't ruin it. You didn't know it was Scott,
no,
though.
I
You just
didn't.
knew that there was another guy.
And
Oh,
actually,
okay. I thought I'd like
if I had known
possibly ruined it.
if I had known the actors' names, I may have known it. But I was like,
Yes.
and to be honest with you, I was like, okay, coming into this discussion, I know his name is Kip, but what's the other one? It's Hunter, but what's his first name? And I was like, it's not Sean. Don't say Sean Hunter, because that's Boy Meets World. Shut up. Don't say Sean Hunter. And my brain was like, so I'm glad you said Scott Hunter before I did, because I was like, Shane? I was like, I knew it was an S. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, you start and I'll give you my thoughts as I thought, but
Okay.
I
Okay.
genuinely coming into this was like, oh, cool, that's different. And I loved that you saw kind of the same scene, but with sort of an extra like look in his eye kind of thing. If you go back, is it the same scene? Is it different camera angles? Or would they have filmed it at the same time?
It's a different camera angle. Yeah, so we get the beginning of the episode where the song. Do you ever heard of Wolf Parade? Because they were very big in Canada, and I'd never heard of them.
No.
So you get the Wolf Parade's "I'll Believe in Anything" starts playing. That will come back eventually, so that's why it starts. I'm not giving anything away, but that's why it's at the beginning of the episode. You get him sprinting in his skin tight bodysuit, and you get introduced to Kip, who is reading a book on art history because he likes art history. You got that, guys? Everyone got it? Everyone in the back got it? There's so many references in this episode of people going like, "Yeah, you're into like art something or other," and he's like, "Art history." I'm like, we get it, we get it. I don't get why that was so needed, but
Yeah,
okay.
it now that you think about it, is a bit hand-fisted, but again, it is like based off of a romance novel, and romance novels are the kind of thing that are a bit
Mm,
hand-fisted, and that you are a personality trait, and that's about it. So I'm not that bothered
yeah,
by it. But um I remember like when I worked at Starbucks, there would be like cute guys that would come by, and I'd be like, "Oh, I can't wait to see him again." And even when I
yeah,
worked as a hairdresser, there were certain people that would come in and I'd be like, "Oh, I really like him." Not as much
yeah,
as that, because I was a little older than when I was a teenager working at Starbucks, and I was like, ah. But when I was older, there was even just guys I was like, "Well, he's nice to talk to." Um, so
yeah.
I totally got this whole thing. Again, I don't. It just makes sense to me. Like with my brain just went who with
What?
Elliot and Jane.
What? Oh, okay. Oh my
I was like,
gosh,
wait, who?
it's only been one
I
episode,
know,
and
but
you've forgotten all about
I'm
them.
still struggling, because then I'm like, but one of them's Connor and one of them's something. I keep getting all of the names mixed up. They're all just like generic boy names. I can't. Like, I'm just like. Anyway, yeah, my issue with that was I was just like, I don't know when they've decided that they're into each other. I don't know
Mm,
when they decided that they were gay. Are they? I don't like. It's just one of those things where I was like, I don't get this. This is
yeah,
very foreign to me. But this felt so genuine and adorable, and it was like, I know you are, because you're very fucking obviously gay, and I am too, but I'm not gonna say it. And then he's like, he's straight because he plays hockey, and oh my goodness, and now he watches the games, and we're just like, ah, so cute.
that's cute. Yeah, and he's like in the bar being like, "Can you put hockey on?" Also, the amount of like not innuendo, but like suggestiveness in this episode is like next level. And I don't know if it's because Jake was like, there's not that much like smuttiness in this episode, so let's just add a load of random smut in the background, because you've got adding an extra banana to his smoothie. Later on, you've got a bowl. I don't know if you noticed on the counter, there's like a bowl of fruit and one giant carrot, like with lemons and limes around the base of this just unbelievably giant carrot.
It's funny, I didn't realize that.
You'll never be able to unsee it now if you watch that episode again. So yeah, you get him coming in loads to have his smoothie with extra banana, flirting like
To be
mad, giving
fair,
him ridiculous
it
tips.
sounds like a really good smoothie.
It was very thin. I don't know if you saw it, was the world's thinnest smoothie.
Yeah, but
It was
sometimes
all water, some blueberries and a banana.
you want something that's not gonna like give you a headache, though, you know?
You're standing up for the thin smoothie.
You can't be mean to
Oh my
everything, can
god.
you?
Do you love a smoothie but wish they weren't so thick? Try Straw Plus Berry's new at-home smoothie maker. You can enjoy water-thin smoothies from the comfort of your own home. Just use the code He Deserves Sunshine for a free recipe book that includes all of your favourites: Blue Moon over Brooklyn, Yellow Sun under Manhattan, Green Uranus through the Lower East Side, and many more. Order today. Oh my god. I mean, I know why it's thin, is because to thicken it up, you'd have to make it gross, and because it won't last, obviously. So that's probably why it was quite thin, because you could make it en masse and it would keep. Um, but then the bit where he kind of like he wants to stay and read his emails. That boy ain't getting no emails, let's be honest. Um, I wanted to add a fun fact in, that on the wall, this is a really niche fun fact, by the way, that only a portion of the audience will get the reference to. Is I mentioned it before on the channel, the YouTube channel Dropout, which used to be College Humor. They have a show called Game Changer, and it's amazing. I really highly recommend it. And the like logo aesthetic of that show is called the loop to loop, and it's like a 70s style kind of loop design. On the wall in the Straw Plus Berry, right next to where Scott is sitting, is a giant tapestry of the loop de loop in the same colours, pretty much.
Really?
And the book for this episode is called Game Changer. So somebody on production team, it has been confirmed, put that in as an Easter egg because it's called Game Changer and the show is called Game Changer, and they put that on the wall. I think that was really cool.
That
I
is
love
really
that.
cool.
So yeah, he lets him know, like Kip lets Scott know subtly that he's into guys by being like, "You'll look like hot lumberjacks by the end of the season," or something like that. And then Scott gets like real uncomfy and leaves.
Do you know, I did talk to my dad about this because I was like, I mentioned that comment to my dad, and he was like, "Would actually, none of them really grow the beards anymore." And I was like, "Okay, but like, obviously for the show, like, I think you're missing it."
Let's have this.
Because obviously, I talked to my dad because he's right now in the middle of watching playoff hockey, and he's like, "This has been the best hockey season," and I'm like, "I'm also watching hockey. How funny is that?" Uh,
We've so much in
And then
common.
you can tell my dad was like trying to be nice because he's like, yeah, yeah, I think some of the players like it. They watch it and they think it's funny. And I was like, it's not a funny show. Like, I mean, I guess it could be funny, but and he was like, oh, and they like it.
Yeah,
They like it. I mean, like, you could tell my dad was like, is it a comedy? Is it? I don't know what it
really,
is.
he's really tried. I won't say fun fact. A fact is that the NHL just put out the big trailer, which I'm sure your dad has seen. Is the big advert for this next coming season of hockey. It does have 2 clips of heated rivalry in it.
Does it actually?
It does, yeah, it does. We're talking about hockey on and off the ice, and then there's like 2 shots of Shane and Ilya. Okay, so moving on, and speaking of Shane and Ilya, we get 2 little cameos because we can't go an episode without seeing our boys,
Obviously.
because we'd all throw a riot. A great line from Ilya. So Scott's like, "Oh, go fuck yourself," or something, and he's like, "Oh, it's what's he say? It's more fun if you're there." Technically, he kind of was on the other side of the wall at the hotel. He's not wrong. And then you get the flip, you get Shane and just being like, "Oh, next time you need to show up." He's like, "You're starting to sound like him." And
I
I'm
was like,
intrigued to be like, "Does Shane, like, is that Shane knowing that he's saying something catty about Ilya and him. Like, does he know? And then they have a fight. Which baby Shay having a fight, I can't even imagine.
So yeah, I would say that that's him confirming that he knows. He absolutely knows
Yeah.
because he has the gaydar. But like what I'm saying though
Yeah.
is what I was thinking is that in a like testosterone sport like that where like it's not really common to talk about unless you're actually
Hmm.
gay yourself, you're not gonna really be like looking for the gay guys. Like you're not like, do you think he
Yes.
is?
Yeah.
You just like assume everyone is straight. But I think that's how a lot of men
Yeah.
feel until there's like a feminine kind of guy or a guy like something that they deem feminine. So I would say that
Hmm.
most men just assume straight.
Yeah. Well, especially in hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think that being that Scott is gay is able to see not the straight view and is probably a little bit more akin to reading between the lines, should I say,
Mm.
Then oh my god, we get introduced to Kip's dad. Isn't Kip's dad like the cutest guy
Yeah.
ever? He is a king.
Yeah.
He needs to be protected at all costs.
He went to get up for the night and he was like giving him the remote and stuff, and I'm pretty sure he called him beautiful. He was like, oh, here you go, beautiful, like a dad would for a little girl, like, and I was like, that's really sweet and
Yeah.
really like that is a way that they let the audience know that he is 100% on board, great parent. If that's what you are,
Yeah.
that's what you are, that's what we are, that's what it's fine. Like it was really nice to know that his dad was so like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But I wrote
So
awesome dad
cute.
in like all caps.
Awesome dad. I just want to give him a cuddle. He's an absolute sweetheart. And he seems very like open. Well, he does very open with his emotions and like telling people how he feels and stuff. And obviously you see that in Kip as well. But he's just like, I love you. And was it later on? He was like, the Kip was like, you too. And he was like, I'm sorry. It's like, you have to say I love you back. Which I feel like that'll be me as a mum. I'll be like, say it back. Then get the gala dinner where Kip smashes Scott with a plate of food.
Because he needs money for his art
I like
history.
his friend because of his art history. Yeah. And he gets a little wink across the floor, which I think I missed on some of my rewatches. So he gives him a little wink. Scott does to Kip. And then, do you like Mexican food? Asking him on a date. Which I was like, he's a very, very closeted gay man. Like, very closeted. And he's asking this man out that he barely knows, obviously fancies a lot, to go out to get Mexican food.
Do you not think he realized that there was going to be a queue and a reason?
People in this restaurant, maybe he thought it was like really late and there
No,
would be hardly anyone
no, but
there,
I mean,
or
like, do you think that he was like planning on being like, actually, do you want to just?
see what you're saying that there would be a queue and he would have the excuse to say, we can order it. Okay, I'm gonna put that as canon, that is correct. Because I like that. That makes
I
sense.
mean, he's not comfortable with going out, or he was like, you know what, we could go out, and then he's like, actually, just the same as he was later on at the art gallery, where he was like, I think
Yeah.
we can do this. No, we cannot do this.
No, we can't. Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea that he was like, well, two guys can get Mexican food together. That's not going to kill anybody. You know what I mean? Like, but then he was like,
Yeah.
actually, if I tell him this
He's
place
just so
that's really good, and I know it's really
yeah.
good, and there's a line out the door every single time.
So maybe you can just order in. Yeah. Kip's face and his eyes just like go, yeah. The best line, obviously we enter the best hotel suite that Canadian dollars can buy. So he's doing that kind of what was it? He said and so he's like, I can give you the tour now, or and he turns around and Scott's basically like in his boxes, I think. He's like, or I choose or. We all choose or, Kip. Don't blame you for a second. And then yes, and then the sexy that is Kate approved.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I don't really have a problem with it, but I'm just like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. That was perfectly tasteful, in my opinion. I don't need anything fancy, don't need anything intense. Just know they did it. That's all that matters. It was hot and heavy, but it was in the dark. Or actually, it
It
wasn't
was in the
always in the
dark.
dark, was
Yeah.
it? It was like, but it was always like low lighting, minimal.
Close-ups, not really any kind of like wide shots or anything like
Do
that
you
where you can
think
see a lot.
do you think that that's like a tonal shift to show this is a different relationship? Do you think it's the actors don't want
Mm.
to have as much of their body shown, or
Oh no, I don't think that's it.
well, no, I mean,
How did I know that?
everyone has a right to say like I'm fine being in skin tight
Mm.
clothing or with my shirt off, but I don't want the whole thing on
Yeah.
display at one time.
We get full like Scott bum though, in all its glory. We do get a pan shot of Scott's bum. But it is like a slight wide, I think. Um, but also, yeah, I think that it is to reflect the episode being a bit more romantic. You haven't got the tension or the high, I say high stakes, but it is kind of a bit more softer of an
Yeah,
episode.
yeah,
The I think the sex scenes reflect
but
that.
it's also
They're not as aggressive and
it's two people who are admitting openly that this is what they want as well, like openly to each other,
yes,
which is
yeah.
really nice. And I think actually I'm someone who doesn't like the bullshit. So I like someone who's like, let me lay it out to you. And be like, awesome.
The honesty, the communication.
It's fantastic. Also, I noticed that there was consent again. You're right, there is consent. I like.
Yeah.
I like. Very good.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so like, I mean, from having two episodes where we've been dying for just some men to open up and talk about their feelings, this is a breath of fresh air. This is him saying, like, I'm going to leave. Well, can you stay? Yeah, sure. Like, oh my gosh, we've discussed. It didn't take much, but we did it. So proud of us.
And there was so many moments where I was like, I know what the right answer should be, but are you going to make the
Yeah.
right choice? And it was like, yes, the right choice. Yes, that's the right choice.
Yes.
Yes, that's the right choice. And even in the end, yes, that is the right choice, unfortunately. But yeah.
It is, and it breaks our hearts. Well, we get we get Kip making him a smoothie, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, did I wake you up by running a blender?" I can hear when my neighbor makes a smoothie every single day at around the same time, and when it happens, me and my husband look at each other and go, "Smoothie time," because we can hear her NutriBullet through the wall. So I'm pretty sure Scott can hear it in the same apartment. Okay, then we get well, hold on, do we get this? I've got two things. Yes, okay. So I've got written down picking that muscular man up like he weighs nothing.
Oh yeah.
And then I got Scott gets intense. So I think that happens first. And then we get Scott and his like admission of how he feels. But also picking another man up. I very much enjoy. I didn't realize I enjoyed that. Very much enjoy
I
that.
thought it was odd. I was like, but not odd like in a bad way, but I was like, oh, I've not. Hmm, okay, yeah.
It's
I
not
mean,
something you think about, is it?
no, it's
You don't
not.
think about men picking other men up.
No, it is kind of an odd one. But I suppose that if you are a man, you probably love the idea of picking someone up or being picked up.
Yeah. Probably lovely. Um, okay, yeah, so we get Scott being intense. So he's like, I'm not gonna. I mean, he lays it out on the table, right? So
Mhm.
we haven't got any miscommunication or Kip being like, I didn't know it was going to be like this kind of thing,
Yeah.
because he does say, I'm not coming out the closet until a couple of years' time when I've retired and I can disappear. But then he does say, but then with you, like, I want it now, but I can't do it now. So, like, would you be willing to basically live in my apartment like a hermit and become my prisoner?
Although,
No, it's giving Beauty and the Beast.
when you say it like that, then I'm glad at the time frame. But did we clock the fact that this whole relationship happens in 4 months?
Yeah, is it 4 months?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it says he's in Canada. And it says 4 months earlier,
Yeah.
and then at the end of it, it's when he goes to Canada.
Oh,
So this
right.
whole
Yeah, yeah,
thing
yeah.
happens in 4 months. I did not
Mm.
realize that they just moved really quickly. I was like,
I do think there is, well, even quicker, because I do think there is a time jump between them walking away from each other and the Olympics. Because when he's in the bar with Elena and she's like, "How long?" And he's like, "2 months." So he says 2 months when, and then Elena's like, "Are you coming to the gala in 2 weeks?" I think. So, and then after that, after the gala, so I actually think it's only about 2.5 months. And then you've got, I think there's a gap, and the fact that there's a gap and he's still wearing the socks is like he's still in love with him. It's not a fresh breakup. That's what I think.
The
Only because I clocked it when he said it
socks.
in the bar. So it's even fun. These guys are moving at the speed of light. And he's just like, "Can you, I want," it was really sweet. They're like, "I want you to be here when I get back from practice, and I want you to be here when I get back from my game tonight." He's like, "I can do that."
I know.
Oh,
It's so
are you
lovely.
kidding me? So freaking cute. So then we get this like lovely montage of domestic bliss, which is
I know.
very different from the kind of montage that we're going to get next episode. And
Oh
I'm very
no.
excited. But this
My
montage is
poor little
very romantic.
eyes. My poor, like, bad little eyes.
Cherub. Um,
Ah.
okay, yeah. This is lovely because you get, yeah, him like coming back to the apartment. I want to say flat. I'm British, what can I say? Coming back to the apartment, and Kip's there and he's just so happy and he drops his bag and he just like jumps on him, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is lovely. Can we just live in this space forever?" And obviously we can't. Um, we get the art gallery, which we've already kind of touched on, where he's like, Scott's like, "I want to try and be out in the world." That was hard. He was so mean to Kip.
Yeah. Do you think that there is any type of situation in which they would make like a spin-off, or if they would have the main guys, I don't know how the season ends, or like
Mm.
something where like they are just out in the open in the main like
Yeah,
world, like because I feel like that's probably even like better to
that would be
show.
that would be nice. That would be nice to show a conclusion like that's not sad,
Yeah,
I
like
guess.
I mean,
I think
is there
it just makes
anyone
us. Go on.
is there anyone that's in the NHL right now that's actually out?
That's a very good question. I know
How do
that
you not know
a
that?
player
You're
did come
like
out because of
you're
this show. Well, no, I know a player came out because of this show. Like he
really?
came out publicly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Hudson Williams left him a comment, like sent him a video, and it was lovely. And he was on the Drew Barrymore show. I just don't know if he is playing in the NHL or whether he's in a different league. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't care about the hockey.
Okay.
Just reminding everyone. But as far as I'm aware, I think it would have come across my feed. I'm not searching it out, but if it came across my algorithm, I have not seen it. There's just one guy.
That is wild. I mean, it was in Ted Lasso that in I don't know if I want to give spoilsies because I think in the last season of Ted Lasso there was a football player that was gay,
Ah,
but I don't. And
okay.
I
I've
I
never
think there
seen Ted Lasso.
I think there was a storyline around him, but I like this is really sad. I
Mm.
loved the first season of Ted Lasso. Like I hate to be like I was a like early days Ted Lasso fan, but
Yeah,
genuinely
early adopter.
I was like excited for it to come out because Americans and UK and there's all these sorts of jokes like we don't like tea and I get that sort of joke. So I was excited not because of the
Yeah.
football, but because of that. And also I was a huge Scrubs fan and it's Bill Lawrence. Um
Yeah.
so like early days I was like, "Oh my God, I love this show. I love this show." And then all of a sudden everyone else liked it and I was like, "Oh, cool too. That's cool too." But
Fine if you have to.
But by the
Yeah.
end of it, I wasn't a huge fan, so I literally have like 3 episodes left of the final season, and I was like, eh. Mm.
Oh, that happens to me a lot.
But the
Okay.
first season's real good, so go on.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so we get it's around, is it around this time that we cut? Yeah, it's kind of around this time where things start to turn, right? He gets him the socks, the little banana socks, which I think is a really cute gift. Some people think it's really cheesy. I think it's really cute. It's something I would buy for somebody, just a novelty item. And then I put in my notes also, we find out they're vers. What? Because we don't get that from Shane and Ilya. They're very much a straight and a bottom, and that's it.
Wait,
So that was very
wait,
exciting.
what? Explain terminology.
Yeah.
I'll play dumb. I don't know. Or not play dumb. I am dumb. Go on, explain.
Vers because they switch up positions. Some people do not switch, they're not vers, which means they don't top and bottom.
What does that
Some people
stand
are just
for?
tops and just
Is
bottoms.
that like a thing?
Versatile,
Oh,
I think it
versatile
is.
makes sense. Yeah. I didn't even notice there was any type of switch up, but that could just because I was like, oh, dude, they're doing the sex again. Let me look away. Let me give them some space.
In the big early on, you get when Scott picks Kip up, he says, "Can I fuck you?" And then in that scene, Kip says to Scott, "Can I fuck you?" And they're
Oh,
like,
so that's a
"Mm,
penetration thing then.
yes, it
Got it.
is."
Okay. Because I thought it was just like fuck. Because
Who is on physically on top and who is
I
physically on the bottom?
I
But
do not
no, it's more
penetrate.
who is a bottom.
I don't penetrate anyone when I fuck them. So I was like, oh, that's.
You are not a top. Yes, you are
but there's no way for
perpetual
me
bottom.
to. But
You could have the mentality of a top or the mentality of a bottom. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So the Kip's at the bar. He's with Elena. Scott's away, I believe, and Elena gives him the truth bomb. What's the plan, babe? Is what she says, because this is where you get the. I think this is like where Kip's met with his first bit of resistance from somebody because he hasn't told anybody. Elena's the first person to know, right? So she's the one who's like, hold on a minute, get out of your daydream because this isn't how reality works. And I really like her character. I think she's really protective in a not in an overprotective way, but in a kind of just like she gives tough love. And I mean, I need that in my life. You give me tough love all the time because I need it. Um, I think she's a really supportive friend.
yeah, I wrote awesome dad and friend. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but I was kind of like, no, just shut the fuck up. It's what he wants.
yeah.
I was like,
But
I know what
you
she's doing.
realize,
I know what she's doing, but I'm
yeah.
toxic. So just shut the fuck up.
So you realize though, once he gets the text from Scott being like, "There's a present for you in the closet," and he opens the door and it's that tux for him for the gala, and that's where I think it really turns for Kip. You can see it in his face, like he's like, "Oh,
What is
that's
it
gonna cost
though?
them."
Because like I didn't really get why. Is it because he was giving him something nice? Like he was a.
For me, I thought it was like kind of like it's a present for you in my closet, like because he was in this.
Oh my
I think
God.
even like when he was in the apartment, all the lights were off. Like he's in the dark,
Is
right?
it
He
a
was on his own.
metaphor?
He's in the dark.
Is it a metaphor
Mm,
that the gift will always be in the closet?
that is 100% correct. It is in the closet. It is the closet. It's in like there is a present in the closet where Scott is hanging out.
I'm so glad
Yeah,
I
I
got that.
think
I just like it just came to me.
yes.
It is. It's
And the
in.
note on it says like for my man, and I think he's just like it's never gonna be on my terms. It's always gonna be on his terms. His apartment, his closet,
Yeah.
his suit. Like it's never gonna be Kip.
Yeah, and he's
And I got really sad at that moment. Like that was a really sad moment. And his dad calls him because he misses him and he realizes that like he's kind of
he's let
not
his
shutting out or abandoning, but
relationships with
yes.
somebody who is
Yeah.
actually his family and actually cares about him more than just for the last couple months. Now,
Openly supports him.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying like, oh, that he, I don't think that there was any like bad intentions. I just mean that like his dad has
Mm,
obviously been around a very long
yeah.
time and is very supportive, very wonderful, like super, super great and all that. And then there is this guy, but it has only been a
Yeah.
couple months. So, and he does deserve
Yeah. I
someone
mean,
who will be wonderful and be out and all that stuff, but I'm so
yeah.
toxic. I'm
He
so
deserves
toxic.
sunshine. Okay, yeah, so the fundraiser, we're moving into kind of the final bits now, which is so sad. I'm sad we're getting there. Elena is pissed. She's defending Kip. She is like claws out. She's ready to go and a fight for him. The dance, unless there's something before that you want to discuss, the dance where he has with Elena, where she gives him the speech.
I I felt a bit icky about this because I felt like
Yeah,
it should be on Kip's terms. Like you can guide your
yeah.
friend, but what would happen if both of them were like, "No, fuck you. This is what we want to do. This is how we want it to be."
Mm,
So I'm like maybe
mm,
it's not her place. Like I get it. I get what she's trying to do. I get that she's like a great
yeah.
friend, but you don't like go to your friend's partner. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes. But at the same time, they've only known each other 2 months, and I'm assuming he's known Elena years and years, and
yeah, that's true.
they're very close friends. And she can see what it's doing to him. And so yes, I agree that in like real life, it would be seen as like overstepping the mark, or you wouldn't do it because you'd be worried that it would harm your relationship with your friend. But I do think that it needs to be said for him, like to give Scott a shake and to be like, you got to do something. And the bit so where she says like he deserves sunshine and so do you, is like a call to the song at the beginning because it talks about sunshine, um, where they first meet, and we'll keep a note of that as well. But it was such a sad realization for Scott that that Kip was miserable. And he's like, "Are you miserable?" He's like, "No, but you are. You're denying the fact that you're miserable. Like, obviously you are.
Yeah.
And you're not happy with how this is." But
I
but
mean,
yeah, I
what
think
I
if
don't
he finally realized that, I don't know.
what I
Yeah,
don't get though is that if he did come out,
mm,
he'd probably get to go on the Drew Barrymore show.
he would. He would. Yeah,
No, but like
with Kip.
what is the fear about it? Like I
Mm,
obviously do not understand this
yeah.
because I am just the default and I have no problems with expressing who I am because nobody has a problem with it. I am not in a minority. I am not someone who has to. I have a very privileged life on that. So I do not understand
Mm,
why you can't just like I feel like in this day and
mm.
age, people are just so much more
Yeah,
cool about it. And if they're not,
it's
like
just yeah.
that's their problem.
I
But
I do yes. I do think that the fact that nobody has or like nobody has come out in this MLH. Let's talk about the
yeah,
world that has been built. That as far as we are aware, there are no openly gay players. So he would be the first openly gay player, which would kind of be like, well, there's no precedence for it. So if there's no precedence for it, it means it doesn't happen. This isn't something that happens. Um, I think that's probably a lot of pressure because you don't know what would happen because there is no past example to show of what would happen if he did come out, and can only assume bad things. Can only
this
assume that
is
he would be
I just
sent to a team in the middle of the Arctic, and
but this
his
the
career
thing
would
is
be
that like
over.
eh, the reality is apparently women are gagging for it. Like they love
We
it.
would love it.
So I don't I know that like obviously it's everyone's own journey and things, but I feel like we need to be a little bit further forward thinking and maybe be like allowing them
Oh my
to
god,
feel
yes.
like it's a safe space because I just can't see like I don't know. I mean, I was watching something today.
You're not going to solve the
I know.
problem,
I
but
was watching something today where there's like ghosts and stuff. It's weird. But anyway, they were like talking about how like there was a guy who was there and people were like, "Oh, when you were in high school, you were it's like the 1980s and everybody just made fun of gay people and all this stuff." And then he was like, "But I wouldn't do that now because there's like he was with his like gay buddies and they were on a date." And I'm just like, you
yeah,
know, like we all can learn, even 80s jocks.
even 80s jocks can
Even
learn. If
80s
they can
jocks.
do it,
I mean,
everyone can
in
do
a
it.
fictionalized TV show for like Amazon or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yes.
so okay. So we get the scene. I wrote down that the soundscape for this scene, and you know me, I'm always listening to the music and the whatever's going
You
on,
do.
sound wise. But the soundscape for this scene particularly is amazing. So they're talking over. They've. Oh my god, when he has to get in the limo, like Scott's getting in the limo with all the cameras, and he goes on the back of the building and picks up Kip. And at this point, we all kind of know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
We all know, or at least we know that something is very off here. So picking up Kip behind the building just feels like a real slap in the face to Kip. Like he's such a lovely guy to be hiding him like that. So they're having a conversation over whiskies, I'm assuming, or bourbon, I don't know, at the kitchen counter. And in the background, I wrote like it's a low rumbling noise. It's just this kind of really low rumble that plays and it gets a little bit louder as the tension builds of him talking about like your speech and this is not something that I can do. And then it fades as Kip walks away, that rumbling fades. And I kind of can imagine that being like Scott's blood pressure. You know, when you get really high blood pressure and you're like really, you get the adrenaline going and you can kind of hear the pressure in your ears. That's what I kind of imagine that being. Okay, just me. I have a heart problem,
Yeah.
so it might just be me. When you get like really bad adrenaline, I can kind of hear my blood pressure in my ears. That's what I imagine that as being like.
When
Is like the
when I get like a feeling like anxiety hits, or like when somebody says like something that they're like someone was talking shit about you, or when I get that feeling, it's a cold run all down my back.
Oh yeah, I get that. I get that.
Cold
Jesus, I
run.
hate that one.
It's awful.
Yeah,
Like there's nothing that can make
it is
that
awful.
experience lovely. It is
Mm-hmm.
awful. But that's the best I can give
Yeah,
you is cold run.
enough. That's kind of what that's kind of what that noise gave me. That kind of sensation. And oh my gosh! And then one of my favorite songs of the whole series plays, which is "Lips" by Baxter Jury, and it's that thumping noise that. And it's him like the kind of sounds of him like walking away. I have it on a play on many playlists now, but it's so emotional for that moment. It's this drum beat, and I had a little tear. I didn't cry. I think I probably did cry the first time I saw it, but I had a little tear because it was when he gets home and his dad's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" Like, "Oh, my boy," and he hugs him, and I was like, "Dad,
I felt very sad, but I was
getting
like
it again."
maybe there's like some chance of something. Like I was like
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh
keep
no.
my like I mean, this is probably a good thing. Like I was trying to like keep the positives and stuff,
Oh,
but I did
yeah.
cry.
Hey.
I did cry when he said that his parents died and that
Speech.
hockey is his found family, because it made you
Yeah.
realize that okay, here we go. Here's the stakes. So it's not just that like that it's if he loses hockey, he loses the one consistent thing he's had his whole life. Like his parents were into hockey,
Mm.
they died. All he had left was hockey. Like he has nothing to like be familiar with other than hockey. So there is a lot of stakes in it, just other than being like, why wouldn't you just do it if you really love him? What are you so afraid about? So I guess that is the stakes. Okay.
Yeah.
All
And he
right. I'll take that back. But I still think that if you're in there in the NHL or any of the other sporting things, I mean, we can't just assume that they're all straight, right? I don't know.
oh no,
Yeah, I'm just so sad for them.
so sad. No, let's not get even more sad. I already teared up. So Kip realizes from the speech that's it and he has to walk away. And then we get to Kip's birthday and Scott is like says he's not a serial killer, is standing outside the Kingfisher looking in like he's about to murder someone. But it was quite sad, but also like a bit creepy.
He's just trying to work up the courage to go in, right?
Yeah. He's not gonna, and we know it, and he knows it. And Scott and Kip's wearing his really cute glasses, which like giving Jonathan Bailey slutty little glasses. They're very
Oh,
cute.
I am also amazed I've made it this entire episode and not mentioned that actually both of these men are very attractive as well. And I don't feel that way necessarily about the main two.
That's fine. These are your guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is your story. So the book is Game Changer. I do own it. It is on audiobook.
I was looking for
It
a
is a very good book.
so my podcast lately, everyone's been shit lately. Um
Oh, except for us, of
no,
course.
except for us, but I'm there for that, so I can't really um So, but yeah, everything I've just been kind of lacking on, and I've been doing a lot of stuff around the house, so I'm running out of content. So I was looking for an audiobook today, and I did go buy Heated Rivalry, and I was like, nah, I can't do it. No, no, no. Well, also, I wouldn't want spoilsies or any type of
Yeah.
information until I'm done. But yeah,
Yes. No, you don't.
if
Yeah.
anyone else is or actually, no, I won't even ask for recommendations for an audiobook because I have a big problem with reading the romance genre, and it's not because I don't like the
Mm.
smut. That's fine. Reading the smut is fine. In fact, probably easier than anything else. Just read
Yeah.
the smut. Cool. Um, but I just find that it's very tropey and repetitive. A lot
Yeah.
of stuff. I know you said like the that's what makes it more interesting when it's like same-sex couples or something else, but I'm like, it's all just so
That's
tropey.
fair.
So if anybody does have any
Put the genre.
recommendations for anything for me to read that's not tropey or maybe even
Mm.
romantic, maybe fantasy or I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'll read anything, to be honest. I'm just bored of everything. I feel like I'm going through a depressive state with
Yeah.
my listening habits.
Oh no. I have I mentioned that I've started listening to the audiobook just because I've been doing a lot of long drives and I only listen to like a couple of podcasts. I was like, I'll just put the audiobook on, it's fine. What you shouldn't do is have the audiobook playing, get out at a little, do a food shop, come your phone back in, and very loud in the car park. And I'm sure people can't hear, but also you can hear people's phone conversations when they're on the phone in their cars. Is it was like Shane grabbed Ilya's and it was really loud. And I was like, oh no, turn it down, turn it down. I was like, oh,
Oh dear.
like, okay, all right. Now we know never pause the audiobook in the middle of a sex scene because it is a lot, especially when you're like slowly going out of a car park and he's like, he grabbed the lube, and I'm like, okay, quickly out of the car park, quickly out of the car.
Yeah, like when
Really
you pull up
awful.
to a red light, do you like turn it down a little bit?
If I'm at traffic and there are people on the other side of the road, yes, I have been known to turn it down because it is explicit. It is the books are like way more explicit than the show. So
Really?
yeah, and I mean, obviously I've read them, but this voice actor, he's I don't know what. I don't like it.
Oh, I
I don't
hate a
like his
bad
voice
voice
at
actor.
all.
No, don't like
It's really gruff
don't like
and
it.
low, and it's like not what I have in my head. Yeah,
Uh,
and also there. So I have to say really quickly, the voices of Shane's parents that this guy does is like so southern. They are Canadian. He's like, "Well, child," like.
was he a man doing a woman's voice?
Yeah,
Because
but even the dad's voice is just like, "Well, Shane, you should." I'm like, this is so like giving Tennessee. I don't understand. So I was just pissing myself laughing through
I
the entire scene.
I know the exact kind of voice you're talking about because it is a problem. Because I've like pretty much
Yeah,
audiobooks have been like I've listened to hundreds. I said to my dad, I
yeah.
read a book the other day and he was like, "Oh, when did you read that? Do you have a copy I can borrow?" And I was like, "Well, no, it was an audiobook." And he's like, "Well, then you didn't read it, you listened to it." I was like, I did."
All the same amount of words.
Yeah. I heard
um,
but it was a read by the author book, which I think read by the author is like awesome because then you hear it exactly how they're supposed to
yeah.
do it. I don't know. But
Hmm.
really quick question on genres of books.
Hmm.
What switches something from romance to erotica?
The level of detail, I think, in the sex scenes,
So
like that's it. It's like I would think it's the level of
so
detail.
is this
I
erotica?
may be wrong. So we call it smart. Jacob calls it smart. I don't think it's erotica because it's not. I think erotica is more like sex first plot kind of happens. Whereas I think the sex and the plot are very much equals in this.
I used to know this weird
That's what I
Mormon
think.
girl who read Stephen King, and she told me that Stephen King is how she learned about sex. I imagine she's the kind of person that
God,
erotica is made for. She
the
was like,
hell?
she was really fucking weird.
That's not a brag.
I, no, like she was just like I was in high school, right? And I'm a senior, and I think she was a sophomore. And she's in my like study period, and I was just like having a conversation with her because I knew her through somebody else or whatever. And I knew she's kind of like, plain Jane. She didn't really wear like band t-shirts or anything. She just kind of really simple, and she had like long frizzy hair that she didn't do anything with. And I didn't judge her or anything, but I was like, she's not really like, like girly like all the other girls. But then I
Yeah.
found out that she's like one of like a bunch of kids, and like her parents are very religious. I don't know if they're Mormons. But like they were just some
Yeah.
weird, like strange thing. And she was like, the only way I've learned about any type of sex is just from reading Stephen King. Like she was basically like, I know nothing. And I was like,
Oh, well.
that's really bad. Now, like me in my 30s is like, wow, well, why don't we talk about how we can help you? Like, are you aware of safe sex? Are you aware of your rights? Are you aware of it about consent? But I was just like, dude, that sucks. Because I was like 17. I was like, well, sucks for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man, of
And
course,
you fully educate yourself.
of course,
Weird.
you wouldn't know. I'm real cool. All I learned about sex is from MySpace and my boyfriend.
Mine was a weird 70s porno we had to watch in year six. Um,
We'll go back to that another time.
Hairy, hairy people in the 70s. Okay, so okay, let's get back. We got the last scene. We got the last scene, which is we're back at the Olympics, we're back in Sochi, and he's getting ready for the gold medal game. I was about to say match game, and he puts his grey socks over his little banana socks that he's wearing underneath. And it's such a nice way to end because we've had the heartbreak of that kind of, I mean, it's still a heartbreak, but it's like softens the blow because you know that he still loves him and he's still thinking about him and it's not like over for him, you know? So
Yeah.
I think that is that's a really good ending for
I
that
think
episode.
I think that it was he loves him, so he has to let him go. Like
Yes,
it
yes,
it was very
100%.
much like
Yeah.
he was like, this person means so much to me, I couldn't possibly do this to them. And that is like really great. Again, I'm toxic. Fuck that shit. Just do it. Like just do it. Be a hermit. It's fine. Have your smoothies at
Aside from the
home.
world for years.
Oh,
Yeah, we want them to be happy, but we also want them to be together.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I knew you would like this episode, so I'm like, I just knew from what we talked about in one and two, I knew that this was going to be a breath of fresh air for you and that you were going to be like all about
I
the
know.
Skip,
I
the Scott and
know.
the Kip.
I was just like, I had such a
Um,
goofy grin on my face. I was like, ah.
yeah, I had a big smile a couple of times during this as well.
Also, do you know who they kind of reminded me of? You know that guy Billy on the
Mhm.
street or whatever he is? Like
Yes,
Billy,
yeah,
yeah, he kind of had that sort of
yeah.
like, because he did that movie Bros.
Rose, I really enjoyed that movie.
I
Yeah,
didn't see it, but it kind of like from the trailers, I just kind of put it, it's sort of a romantic kind of thing, right?
the romantic comedy. Yeah,
Yeah. So it
yeah,
kind of had
it's
that.
good. It's not like amazing, but it's good. It's worth a watch, I think.
There was another one, so I'm like trying to think of like all of the like romance films I can like gay. I can't think for the life of me what happens in that one from Dan Levy, but I'm trying to think of what it is. It
Oh,
was like
oh, okay.
it was like the
Is it the one where his partner passes away?
at
Is
like
it
New
that
Year's
one?
Eve or something like that.
Because I
And
haven't seen that one. It's on my list, but I just never caught it.
I caught like the only reason I watched it is because I had a free night, like literally when it had come out that night. And I watched it and it
Yeah.
was really, really good. But I really that was very I remember it being quite sweet, I think. Now like watch me like, oh no, it wasn't
Mm.
at all. But no, I actually really liked that. I'm trying to think of what the premise was, but I really it gave me the same vibe. Like it gave me that wholesome romantic thing.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Yeah,
very good.
he's so
Dan Levy, he
good.
really is.
He's really,
His
really
new show, Big
talented.
Mistakes, really good. We're 2 episodes in.
What's that?
Big Mistakes, his new show. I
Oh
really recommend.
yeah. I haven't seen it. There's so much good TV right now.
really is. There really is. And we're talking about it right now.
That's true. That's true. There's so much I want to watch. And like we watch a lot of films, but we don't watch enough TV. Like me and my husband.
Yeah, no, we're a bit the same as well. Okay, so we finished the episode. Any final thoughts on the episode, or where? I mean, so I can say like with your hopes. I'm assuming your hopes are that they're going to come back.
I
That's what I
would
can see.
I would hope that, but I'm guessing not. But
Yeah,
I did write 10 out of 10 no notes.
absolutely. I had 2 pages of notes, but I still agree 10 out of 10 no notes. This was, to be honest, this was my least amount of notes I've written for an episode. And obviously, we have mentioned that when I do reheat, I don't reheat 3, but it's only because for me, as you can now see, it does stop the story dead. You know, it stops Shane and Ilya dead, and then we get this. And I really love this episode, but when I am reheating, I'm reheating for Shane and Ilya. So it kind of puts the brakes on, and then I watch this, and then I can start up again in the next episode. So, that's why I tend to not reheat this episode.
I
But
was
it
like
is a
really annoyed.
fantastic
I was like,
episode.
how does she not watch this? Like, how
But you
dare
can
you? What do
see
you
if you've
not like
seen the
love?
overarching story and then just like in the middle. But it's needed. It's needed for, I think it's needed for just like us to see a relationship that is entirely different and also very similar.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Liked this.
love.
I wish that they had a
Mm.
spin-off. But it would be very good because
Yeah,
they're not
yeah.
together. But I wish that there was some type of like, so if this is one book, is there another book about Scott?
About them now. I know. They do, like he comes up in other books because it is a series, so they pop in and out, but each book is about a different couple. So like, he's in the MLH world, but not a focus for another book.
Oh my God. What is Rachel Reeves' thing with hockey? Like, what is her background? Do we know?
She's just a big hockey fan. Like she's Canadian, she's a big hockey fan. So
Ah,
I think that's pretty much it, I believe. She doesn't have a personal connection as far as more. I think her kids play hockey, but
that's
yeah,
so good though. Like, I like that she just is like, well, I do like this sport, and I do want to write, and
I
I
know
do
a
want to
lot
do
about it.
this. Oh
Yeah, yeah.
God. I give anyone
And
credit
there's a
though
lot
that
more
can
hockey in the book.
create like a whole series of like
Mm,
characters and a universe. That's she's world building, right?
yeah.
World
And
building
she didn't
hobbits
expect
or
to get
world
any more.
building gay hockey guys. It's all the same.
She didn't expect to get any more books after the first one, Game Changers. So it like it's kind of written as that's that. And then Heated Rivalry was the second one, and she was like, "Oh, I get to do this again. Okay, great." And I think that like I do think Heated Rivalry she took more risks. Yeah,
Yeah, so one was like her baby, and then
yeah.
the second one was like, let's go for it.
Let's do this thing.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it. Makes
yeah,
sense. I am looking forward to watching the next episode. If nothing else, I just want to be able to watch the content, the interviews. I just want to be able to watch
yeah,
everything and know that there's no way I'm going to get spoilsies for anything. Like not even a slight
yes.
offhanded comment. I do have to say
Hmm.
though that I have a lot of FOMO, right? I like when
Hmm.
there is like a major TV series everyone's watching or a movie that everyone's watching. I like feel like I have
Hmm.
to be in on the joke or the like memes. Like I have to. I mean like
Right.
I
Yeah.
was right up in there with like Tiger King. I have to be in on the memes. I have to be in on everything that people are talking about. I need to know
Yeah.
what this fucking cabin is. What's the cabin? I just want to
It's
know. I just want to know what the cabin is. Why can't I know?
literally, literally, it's written on the Peabody website because I had a look to make sure everything was correct. And I was right, and it literally is like something like right at the end. It's like, and it showed us that no matter what, we can all make it to the cottage. And
Or
I
the
was like,
cottage.
oh,
That's what it is. I don't even
that
know. I
because
don't even know.
but you'll know eventually. But you have to earn it. But also, like, I've also read the long games. I read the like next book on from Shane and Ilya because not just because I wanted to read it, but also because I was getting spoils from people who had read it and being like, "This is what to expect in season two," or "I can't wait to see this in season two."
Uh,
And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm learning things I'm not supposed to know out of context. They make no sense." But I'm like, "Huh? There's this and there's this, and why is this picture relevant?" So I was like, I have to
yeah.
scroll really fast so I don't get stuff from it. So I understand. I do get it because now I've read the long game. I'm like, bring it on, bring all of it. I know all the information. Also, to note, that the Met Gala is this weekend. So by next episode, we will know whether the boys have attended, because they don't let you know the list until literally the night and you see them turn up. So there's a lot of chatter that Hudson and Connor are going to be at the Met Gala, and the outfits, I can only imagine if they're
Well,
there.
the
I'm just
outfits for the Met
excited.
Gala are like huge anyway, right? Like they're just insane. Like ridiculous.
Yeah,
Do we know the
there's a
theme?
there's a theme. We have a theme, but I'm not sure what it is. I'm waiting to be fed the information. Because I'm like, I'm it's so sad, but I'm just really excited to see if they attend. And then if they get photographed together, because we need that, because we haven't had them photographed together for a while. Oh, I hear myself. I hear myself. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? And I'm like,
man.
oh, calm down. What are you? What have you become? People in the comments, tell me I'm normal, please. Please tell me
Don't
that
tell
this
us
is
that.
a shared psychosis and I'm not just out here on my own. Okay, let's wrap it up there. Let's wrap it up there before I like talk myself into a hole. So thank you everybody for listening or watching this week's episode. Leave us comments, like, subscribe, all those things. And send us an email if you want to send, like, the comments have been amazing. We've been getting like really long comments and I've loved reading them. But if you have like loads you want to say, just email us, actually let's chat at gmail.com, and then we can give a proper read of it, and that would
Yeah.
be
Let
amazing.
us
Uh,
drop a pin. Let us know where where you're coming from.
that would be amazing, because we get great analytics, don't we, on like the podcast side of things, and we can see like every country, and there are so many countries, guys. There's so many of you from so many different countries. So yeah, let us know where you're listening from.
Yeah.
And don't dox
No,
yourselves.
no, no. Don't do that. Just
Oh my gosh. All right, guys, we shall see you next week for episode 4, Rose.